Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat Nagpal. You're watching iGyaan. Today we're going to be checking out the new iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. A little late, but they're going on sale in India on the 27th of September. So we're going to be unboxing the Indian variants. We've got the iPhone 11 in green color as well as the iPhone 11 Pro Max in the midnight green color. Let's unbox and see what's inside. So right off the bat, you can see that the box colors are different. For the iPhone 11, you get a white box with a photo of the iPhone on the top, whereas with the Pro variants, you get a black box with the photo of the color of the iPhone on the top. So we've got green in both of them because they were the new colors that I wanted to check out. So let's start off with the iPhone 11. We've got the 256GB variant over here. But when you remove the top cover, you will see that you do have the phone upside down and the cameras are pointing up, and the camera bump is enough for Apple to make an indentation in the cover of the box itself. There is no protective plastic on the back of the phone, which is unusual for Apple. I'm going to place that to the side for the time being. Go further in. There is a paper pouch which includes lots of documentation, which is pretty standard. You do have Apple stickers and India-specific SAR information is also within this pouch. There is also a SIM ejector tool, which is not going to be something that is available globally, but the India variant will get it. Further inside, you will get the Apple 5-watt charger, which is the case for the iPhone 11. You also have the earpods, which are wired earphones with a lightning connector and a standard USB to lightning cable, which is pretty much everything inside the box. Let's take a look at the 11 Pro Max. You can see that it is a frosted or a textured back panel, and it looks really nice. It's got a matte finish and it's soft to the touch, if that makes any sense. It feels like it's softer than standard glass, which makes the phone feel really nice. You also have the triple camera layout on the back. Everything inside is more or less the same except the USB charger, where in the case of the Pro variants, you will get an 18-watt charger inside the box, which is absolutely brilliant. It's exactly what we wanted from Apple for so many years, and this year finally it happens, even though you're paying a lot of money. So this one is a 512GB variant and it costs upwards of 1,41,000 rupees. Let's take a look at the phones now. The iPhone 11 replaces the iPhone XR from last year, whereas the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pro Max replace the XS and the XS Max. As far as specifications are concerned, some new changes to the devices, where in the case of the iPhone 11, the major change is going to be on the inside, where you do get the new A13 Bionic chip on the inside of the iPhone, and everything else is more or less identical to what you saw last year, apart from the dual camera bump at the back. The iPhone 11 weighs in at 194 grams, and on the front you do get a 6.1-inch LCD display with in-plane switching or IPS, a standard 326 Retina display, and this is a true tone display with a wide P3 color gamut, which is something that Apple did really nicely last year as well, and this year also you get the same thing. This has a 625 nits of brightness and has an oleophobic coating on there. Resolution remains the 1792 by 828 that we saw last year. On the bottom, you will see the lightning port flanked on either side by a speaker as well as a microphone. On the front top, you do have the front-facing camera, which is now upgraded to a 12-megapixel camera on the front, and it can capture 4K video from the front as well, 4K at 60 frames per second, which is impressive. Now, because it is a wide camera or a 12 megapixel camera, you can now take wider pictures, allows for switching between a standard shot and a slightly wider shot. So if you want to get more people in the frame, you can. On the right is the SIM tray as well as the power button, and there's nothing on the top of the iPhone 11. On the left is where your volume buttons are. Also the mute switch, which remains an Apple standard. On the back are the main two cameras. Both of them are 12 megapixel cameras. The standard wide is a f1.8 aperture, and then you get an ultra wide with a 120-degree field of view, which is an f2.4 aperture. This allows you to basically zoom out up to 2x, and now this enables portrait mode for non-human objects as well, so you can take shots of your pets or non-pets. Inanimate objects as well can be shot with the portrait mode. For the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the bigger difference between the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max is going to be the screen size and the battery size. So like I said, this is the new midnight green color. It looks fantastic. Over at the front, you get the same size display. It's a 6.5-inch display, a upgrade in terms of brightness, in terms of contrast. So this now has a 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio versus a 1,000,000:1 that we saw last year. The resolution remains the 2688 by 1242 that we saw last year, which gives it around 458 pixels per inch. This is an HDR display, but interestingly enough, this gives a peak brightness of 1200 nits, which means that when you're watching HDR content or when you're out in the sun and you need the extra brightness, you can get it, and it can sustain it for a little while, not for continued usage, but for a little while you'll get 1200 nits of peak brightness. Whereas on standard brightness, it remains at 800 nits of max brightness in your typical situations. Now the front also gets the newer camera. The cameras are basically identical in both the 11 and the 11 Pro variants. The front camera is upgraded to 12 megapixel. It remains a f2.2 aperture camera, but now you can capture 4K video at 60 frames per second, and you also get the wide mode. On the back, you get 3 cameras now. So they've added an ultra wide camera on the back. This allows you to switch between a 12mm, a 24mm, and a 48mm lens, which gives you a lot of usage capabilities, and they demoed this with Filmic as well, in which you could have multicam shoots. All of them are 12 megapixel. The ultra wide gets an f2.4 with a 120-degree field of view, whereas the telephoto gets an f2.0. Now this allows you to get portrait shots, which are now wider. Of course, you have the new frosted finish, and then you have the 3 camera layout. A lot of people don't like this layout, but honestly, immediately after you open the phone from the box and hold it in your hand for the first time, the soft touch feel of the glass as well as the 3 camera layout really grows on you. And I have been using this phone for about 12 to 24 hours now, and I already sort of like it. So I think this is something that just grows on you, and the triple camera layout doesn't even bother me. I don't even notice that it's there anymore. Now with the A13 Bionic chip on both the devices, there's a crazy amount of calculations that are going on the phone. And you also have the Apple U1 chip on the Pro models, which allows you to transfer information or locate phones that you're trying to transfer information to a lot easier. Now, all of these things I will test in a later video, but the A13 is really powering the brains of this phone. And just to give you a little comparison, here is the score on Geekbench 5 for the A13 Bionic equipped iPhone 11 Pro Max and the iPhone 11. And in comparison, the ROG Phone 2, which basically has the top of the line specifications in terms of Android, including the 855 Plus chip, is completely beat in terms of what the score is on Geekbench. Now the A13 Bionic paired with the new larger battery on the iPhone 11 Pro Max paired with the faster charging means that this phone is really a monster or a beast in terms of performance. And if you're going to be using those cameras, this will really elevate your camera and your photography as well as videography experience quite a lot. The camera also gets a night mode feature, which is something that Apple enables automatically when it detects a low light environment. I would have liked to see a toggle for that, especially on the Pro phones. It's not there. Maybe in a later update of iOS, you will see that option. But for now, it's not there on the devices. It does capture low light images and brighten them just the right amount in terms of our testing, but I will be testing this phone with all the features and all the capabilities in depth and coming back with a full review. If you guys have any particular questions for these phones, let me know in the comment section below. We will be doing a full review of both of these devices. That's it for this video, guys. This has been Bharat Nagpal. If you liked it, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan, with the bell notification icon turned on, as well as your YouTube notifications turned on, so that you get an update every time we upload a new video. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.